So what inspired me to write a ghost story? I grew up with a mother who believed in ghosts. She told me all sorts of ghost stories from China, and she saw them as a child. So I've been interested in the idea of what if they actually exist? I've never seen one. I would like to, but I've never seen one. I was also inspired by a TV show called The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, about a widow who comes to live in a sea captain's house and falls in love with the ghost there. And I thought, well, I would like to tell that story, but give it a very dark twist and add a murder and also add sex. Because if you're going to fall in love with somebody, what would it be like to have a ghost as a lover? So those are all the things that came together in this story. Well, there were a lot of challenges to writing this book. One of them is that these are characters I didn't know. And my heroine is a woman named Eva. I knew she was bothered by something, that she was suffering from guilt, but I did not know what she was ashamed of. I didn't figure that out until over halfway through the story. So I started off not knowing this character, and having to find out in the course of the writing. That's very different from writing a Rizzoli and Isles book, because I know these two women, so it makes it easier. The other big challenge was that suddenly I'm writing love scenes, and I don't do those very often. They're very difficult to write, and it's hard to make them both sexy and disturbing. And that was my challenge, is to make a love scene be both erotic and also a little frightening. The series the standalones are always fun because you're breaking new ground. You're trying something different. And usually when I write a standalone, it's because the story won't leave me alone. I just have to write this story. The series feels very comfortable. It feels like, just getting together with girlfriends, but I don't feel that necessarily that creative, that wonderful creative push that I do with a standalone. So how do I manage to keep my creativity and imagination going after writing so many books? I don't know. I guess I've been writing for 30 years now, more than 30 years. But I've never run out of stories. I think that a writer's or any kind of an artist's brain is always fiddling around, coming up with new ideas and wondering how to tell them. So I think a lot of it also is I read a lot of newspapers. Newspapers give me stories. The news gives me stories. Everything that's happening around me, there's always a new story to tell. Yes, I am working on the 13th book in Rizzoli and Isles. I think we're going to call it Mrs. Rizzoli because it is very much about Jane's mother. And, Jane's a good detective, but it turns out her mom's not bad either. Her mom's pretty good. So it focuses more on what she sees in her neighborhood. Oh, okay. Well, am I a morning person or a night owl? I'm very much a morning person. I think that about 10 o'clock, I'm tired. I just want to go to bed.